G'day guys, and welcome to F1 2017. Been waiting for this for a very long time, and I'm very excited to get stuck into the career mode on this game. The idea for this series is that because I'm not quick enough for Ultimate AI difficulty, I'm going to replicate the Pro Season mode that Codemasters have put in the game. And yeah, so the team that we're going to be driving for is the Renault Sport Formula 1 team. And my teammate is going to be Jolyon Palmer. Because I'm doing a little scenario where Hulkenberg, instead of going to Renault, went into sports car racing after being miffed about not getting a top drive in his entire F1 career. As you can see there, at the moment we've got the AI difficulty set to 95 because I was doing a bunch of qualifying sessions on the quick race mode, and that was the time. Yeah, here's me seeing what the pro career settings were like, and yeah, I found in the initial stages I was quick with quick at 95, like I was setting the same time as my teammates, and yeah, a nice little achievement there for contender as well. Sorry about that. Yeah, so the tyre allocation similar as last year, but they've changed it slightly, so there's a bigger variety between the three options. Softer, of course, yeah, you get a lot more ultra soft tyres for the Australian Grand Prix as what you got allocation last year. And I was tossing up between softer, and yeah, I've gone soft. Just checking all these. Set the vehicle damage to simulation. Turn safety car on. Strict corner cutting rules, because that's what they'll be doing in the Aussie Sim Racing League when that starts up, when the game gets patched. Because I'm sure you guys know about the disqualified glitch on F1 on 2017 online. I think we're about to hear from both Emma Jenkins and your commentators, David Croft and Anthony Davidson.
Yes, and I respect that. But my client has a championship to contest. So if you want our participation, I'm afraid the concessions are mandatory. Yes, that's fine. Get back to me when you can. Goodbye. No one ever just signs the contract. Anyway, thanks for coming by on such short notice. I just needed to cover a couple of quick things with you before you race. Firstly, as requested, is a copy of your contract. It's a rolling deal. However, the team reserves right of termination if you fail to meet performance standards. You're second driver for now, but work hard, hit your targets, and I'll be able to sweeten the deal. I'm also looking to get you into some invitational events throughout the season. The experience and exposure from these will be great for your image. Plus, you'll get to drive some nice historic cars. Now then, go get ready for the next session. And good luck.
Welcome to our viewers from around the globe. You join us just as today's practice session for the Australian Grand Prix is about to start. Beside me to take you through free practice today is a man with 3 decades of racing experience under his belt. It is, of course, Anthony Davidson. Thanks for joining us today, Ant, and tell me, where should we be focusing our attention today?
I think we need to be looking across the entire field to see how far these cars are able to push a single set of tyres. While everyone will be trying different setups and running with different fuel loads, if you're attentive enough, you can definitely pick out trends for each type of tyre compound, which will give us a rough idea of how long the drivers are able to stay out there during a stint in the race.
And here we are in the garage getting ready for practice. Now this would be the only episode I'll do where I'll show practice, because I want to show you the practice programs. Here we go. I'm going to show you the setup that I'll be running for this Grand Prix. It was made in time trial. Of course, got to get rid of the differential. Haven't actually got rid of enough. I think I changed it down to 50%. Thanks, Jeff. Yeah, I think I changed it before qualifying the race and put the differential down to 50%. I just like the flatter car. I like a higher brake pressure than most people because I raced on the wheel. It's a Logitech G920. So setup done. Well, I thought it was anyway. Well, dawn. Oh yeah, that's right. Gotta save it. Yeah, oh god, I lost my chain of thought here. Yeah, well, professional. So here I am getting rid of the HUD because I forgot to get rid of that earlier. And as you see down the bottom, practice program OSD only. That affected me in the track acclimatization program because the markers weren't shown on the track and made life difficult. So we're going to start off here with the tyre wear program. Very simple enough. Got to reduce tyre wear for the whole lap, and I was on for purple score there until the final corner where I slid out, and that was the highest score I got for tyre wear. So of course I was driving slowly around here, warming up for the track acclimatization program, and when warming up the tyres I spun it and crashed. And it wasn't the first time I did it that weekend either. Yeah, give it to no. And here's Chris. We're going to meet Chris for the first time.
Ah, you got my message. Perfect. Welcome to Home Away from Home. We get more real-time data from the factory now than ever before, and it all comes through here. So I have to spend more time checking over the reports and less time hunting you down in the hospitality suite. And to that end... Sorry, just a sec. Yeah, Chris, is this important? I'm in the middle of something. Oh, okay. Right. Well, that makes no sense. Have Sarah reset the simulation and run it again. Okay. Sorry about that. As I was saying, we've set up a desk for you at the front here. You can get onto the network from your laptop, so make sure to check the R&D screen regularly. And let us know how you want to use the data that we've collected over the weekend and through the practice programs. Also, bear in mind that the news from the factory won't always be good. Sometimes tests fail, like you've seen just now. And when that happens, we have to divert additional resources to fix it. C'est la vie, I'm afraid.
Yeah, so there's a change in this year's game where upgrades can fail. But as was last year, practice programs you earn resource points. Resource points go to your upgrades. The R&D screen is very there's a lot more to it this year. Here we're showing what practice resource points we earned during practice. Got 2,500 resource points to spend just looking around. It's a nice feature in the game to have the truck where all the like technicians and stuff for the F1 team are in. It just adds that extra bit of realism. There's the reputation level, that's also a new feature for the game. Career score and all that stuff was in the last game as well. And you only saw it briefly, but there's engine and gearbox management for this year as well. Here we are looking at the R&D screens, split into 4 categories: powertrain, aerodynamics, chassis, and durability. And there's 4 other sections like positioned like an X, and that's if you meet certain objectives or milestones, I should say. You unlock different sections, like do a certain amount of pit stops, then pit stop times get faster. And as you can see there, look at the McLaren Honda engine. Definitely way worse than the rest. But I was tossing up between a engine upgrade and a chassis upgrade. Just looking at the different types of upgrades, seeing how much I can go. You see there, you can reduce it by 37.5%. Not massive, but what you can do. See, I'm looking at aerodynamics. You see the Renault's got the 4th best aerodynamics. Here I'm looking at the chassis, and Renault has the 4th worst aerodynamics. We'll cut to practice 2. This is the fuel saving program where you got to lift and coast before corner and short shift to try and save fuel. And as you can see here, I got a perfect score for that at the end of the program. Now this is probably the easiest practice program, just got to complete laps, and it helps with race strategy. I've completed 3 laps in a row, got the purple pace. You can actually continue on with this practice program to have your race strategy more accurate. And of course this was in last year's game, the qualifying pace program. Just complete a fast lap, and I also got purple for that as well. So back in the menu after practice 2, and up buying the chassis development upgrade, and also got an achievement for that too, because apparently that was also the recommended upgrade. I flipped that one. And now this is the track acclimatization program that was in last year's game as well. Just hit the got to hit the markers on the track at a good speed to get purple score, as I have here. Not too difficult. And that was practice. Apparently got 8 infractions, so I didn't get any points there. Thank you, Emma. So our rival, the first rival, is always your teammate. So of course our rival will be Jolyon Palmer. And so looking in, wow, that's a slow transition of qualifying. I can't show the pre-qualifying and pre-race commentary because FOM are not happy with that. My full race that I got did for... Well, I showed the full race for this on my channel, it's up right now. That was flagged by FOM because I used the intro, which I'm thankful for him for letting me keep the video up. And this is my fastest lap, so I'll walk you through it. It's very slippery in the wet. Normally DRS here, and in the dry you'd brake a little later than the 100 meter board and you'd be in third gear. Very slippery, as you can see. Trying to short shift to reduce wheel spin, having to lift off for that right-hander that's usually flat in the dry. The braking zones are generally braking zones are generally longer. You can see, still slipping around. Yep, still using third gear for this one. I use third gear in the dry as well. Short shifting again to reduce wheel spin, but I'm still sliding all over the place. Looks like I've got a car behind me as well. It's probably going to be going much faster than I am. I was very slow in this session. That section's usually taken in 6th and 7th gear. As you see, I'm 1.9 seconds up on my previous fastest lap. That's usually 4th gear in the dry, and this is usually 6th. There's, as you see, no, and I keep saying there's no grip. That corner I usually take in 3rd in the dry. And you've got to feather the throttle here, trying to find some grip that's just not there. Across the line, and I finished 1.6 seconds quicker than my previous lap. I lost a lot of time in that last sector. So I tried going on for another lap and I crashed out. And that's all she wrote for qualifying. Not a good result. Apparently I still got flashbacks turned on, but don't worry, I'm not using them. I just need to switch them off. I'm hoping I've switched them off for China. But yeah, end of qualifying. As you can see, Jolyon Palmer finished that session in 10th place. We are a long way behind. But the wet weather is very difficult. And we'll see how we go in the race. As you see, I've done that because Lance Stroll finished the session in 4th place. That is unbelievable.
Hi, it's Emma here. Just wanted to let you know what the team are hoping for in the race.
Okay, I know it's your home Grand Prix, but treat it like any other race. Don't take unnecessary risks.
Cheers, Jeff. I think I turned the difficulty down for this race from 95 to 90 because I got severely outpaced in the race and I was very inconsistent with my pace. The teams decided to underfill me by 2 laps, which is interesting. They obviously think I can save enough fuel. I turned the front wing up for the qualifying session and I decided to turn it, well, I hope I'm turning it down for the race. Thought about touching that but decided against it. Time for the formation lap. And if we, we're off.
Right, let's get the car up to temperature on this lap.
And of course, I did a massive blue in this. Trying to warm up the tyres, I have spun off. I haven't hit the wall, but now I'm going too slow. And the game kicked me from the formation lap. Jake Sampson has been disqualified. So here we are for the race start. 5 red lights. It's lights out and away we go for the Australian Grand Prix. And it's a poor start for us. Sliding around the back. It's going thick. Cars AI going 3 wide through turn 1. The 2 Haas's and the Force India coming out of turn 2. Red Bulls are side by side. I'm squirming around in the back. And the AI brake really slowly for turn 1, so I was able to pick up 2 places there. Here we are following the Haas driver that I honestly don't know who it is. I think that's actually Roman Grosjean. Cutting through the field, and the Toro Rosso and Force India going side by side. If you look at the back of the screen, I'm going side by side with the McLaren, and I got that place back, and I'm up to P18 and chasing down one of the Saubers. So we cut to lap 2. But up past this I won't know what lap it is. Overtaking, I don't know which Sauber it is, but that hurt my front wing slightly. Cut here to when I'm in P13. Got the Force India behind me chasing me down, trying to get out of the slipstream, weaving around. And the Force India is just coming out of the pits. So I'll get into his slipstream and try and pass him into turn 1. Trying to we brake at the same time, but I don't brake as hard as him. Side by side through turn 4. Oh my god. Oh, that was close, and we are up into P12. Although the cars behind have stopped and we haven't. Because we've gone supers, then ultras, then ultras. The AI will do ultras, ultras, and supers. So trying to keep as clean as I can, because I've got 2 Force Indias behind me who are rocket ships down the straight. Down to 6. And the Force India's got a massive run on me there, but I was able to hold on. I was defending for turn 5. Oh, he's barged me out the way. They're banging wheels. And I've decided to box this lap because I don't want to be squabbling too much. So yeah, he's gone and got me. I've been hit from the rear by another Force India, so I'm getting absolutely mugged. I hold on there and pull into the pits now. A new feature for this new game is that you have to manually press the pit speed limiter. So I'm not going to have my front wing changed. The other change is you have to manually exit the pit lane too, which is nice and it's easy enough. I've saved from the start of the race. I've saved 3/4 of the lap of fuel. Thanks, Jeff, for talking over me. Oh, I just hit the Ferrari that's just lapped us. And I got achievement for 2 to the limit. But forget about that now. We've got the Saubers right behind us. We cut here to our first penalty at the race. Apparently I can't keep it clean. Which just showed, yeah, Alonso just pulled away from me at the start of the race. Yellow flags here, and I think that was Kimi Räikkönen who was going slowly. He's had some sort of problem, but I don't know what it was. I'm trying to push the catch up to the main group, but that was, yeah, I'd had enough at this point. I had 2 penalties and decided enough is enough. I'm not scoring points, I just saved the engine.
For the Mercedes team today. Anthony, what do you think made the difference here?
It was a question of right place, right time today. We were looking at an entirely different race before the safety car came out, but they were able to take full advantage after the field had been bunched up.
Well, I'm thoroughly exhausted after the excitement of that race, but I'm sure it's nothing compared to our drivers here. They've worked hard to make it up there, and it's great to see them make their way out onto the podium. And now let's take a look at the drivers' standings. Valtteri Bottas takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship after an excellent result. Moving on to the driver of the day then. Anthony Davidson, who would you go for?
Difficult call, Crofty, but I'd like to say Sergio Perez. He's just so gifted at getting the most out of his tyres, and he showed that here today.
And here's how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes move to the top of the table. After all that excitement, it's time for a lie down, I think. Thanks for joining us, and goodbye until the next race.
Yeah, not a great first episode, I'm afraid, but Valtteri Bottas has won the first race and takes the lead of the Drivers' Championship, while Mercedes is on top of the Constructors, while Renault were languishing in second last with being beaten by McLaren Honda. Oh boy. Not a great start, but we can only go up from here. So let's have a look at the race director, because I wanted to see what the incidents were, and yeah, I've done a lot of, a lot of incidents, and I think we're about to meet Jonathan. Well, after looking at the rivalry where we're getting smacked by Palmer, and his driver team approval, I should say. No team wants us anymore. Our career score started off at minus 2,500, and now 4,141. Not a good weekend.
Is this the one? Indeed it is. And this is Jonathan. He's going to let you drive some of his cars.
Well, not quite my cars, per se. It's a mere detail. You know, I'd really rather be down there racing them myself, to be honest. I'm actually quite handy behind the wheel, but it's the downforce, those lateral Gs, you know? The old neck can't really handle it. So I need a pro. And that's where you come in. We run in a bunch of events throughout the year. Time trials, races, all sorts. And I have it on good authority that you have the ability and temperament to do well in these. Make our business look good, and most importantly, bring the cars back in one piece. So consider this a formal invitation. And I'll see you at the track.
Quirky character, that Jonathan. But yeah, we're going to be doing some invitational events throughout the year, tossing up between the Williams FW18 and the Renault R26. I wish they had the R25 in the game, but beggars can't be choosers. So yeah, we picked the Williams FW18.
Welcome to today's invitational event, where some of the world's finest drivers will be treating us to a special exhibition of some of the sport's most iconic cars.
Thank you, Crofty. So the goal is fairly standard. Gotta overtake as many cars as I can. The idea is to overtake them all to get the to complete the event. There are other cars. They're either MP44s or MP46s. Definitely McLarens, based on the Marlboro livery. We've got 10 seconds to go. I didn't want to show too much of it because this video's gone long enough as it is. And I didn't quite do it. Listen, that V10 doesn't sound awesome. Yeah, I was only able to do 8 overtakes, which is unfortunate. Oh well, not much I can do. So of course their career score gets added onto, which is still not great. But that'll be it for this first episode. It's the next episodes won't be quite as long, but I just wanted to show you all aspects of, or most aspects of the career mode. And I'll see you back soon for another part. Take it easy, and goodbye.